So it's your boy TIMMAY, this who that there with legendary Scharad Lightbourne. So before I get into why we here today, talk to me about SL, LeBron, the photographer, you do so much things. Talk to me about you.
Well, I've been doing this for a while now. This year the end of this year I make 11 years. I've been working as a photographer, and I love what I do. I have a crazy passion for what I do. I wake up, I get to do it every day. I get to make money from my passion, and the opportunities that I've gotten over the last decade have been just like incredible. Getting to meet tons of Bahamians who are talented. Get to work in and outside the country. Just traveling and meeting new people and networking and getting to learn more in my craft and be able to just do what you love every day. I mean, it's been an amazing journey so far.
I always try to highlight people who in the Bahamas get to do it for a living. So talk to me about how the steps you took to be able to do it, because you could have maybe someday just like, no, this ain't working, let me just get a regular job. Talk to me about the steps and when you knew that you could do this for a living, and you have a family and support yourself with your passion.
I had a 9-to-5 job, and I just felt, as most creative entrepreneurs do feel at one point, what is it that I'm doing? I felt like trapped. I felt like I was in a box. Being told what to do every day and how to do something every day is very stifling. It's very like it almost decreases your amount of creativity, and it kills it off to me. So I just reached a point where I had to decide, do I want to do this, make really good money, and not be able to grow as an artist, or do I want to do something that I love for the rest of my life, struggle, but have a creative freedom that I can't get anywhere else. So I made the step, I made the jump. Spoke to my parents at the time about it. They were a little hesitant, but parents just want the best for their kids. So I got some resistance, but at the end of the day, I was like, this is what I want to do. I can't work for anybody ever again. And I made the jump and just been trying to stay consistent, always try to reinvent myself, always try to improve, always try to grow as an artist, and make money while doing it.
You said you've been able to pursue your passion here and abroad. Talk about the first time you was able to use your talent, and that your talent allowed you to travel outside the Bahamas and work.
I remember it really, really well. It was like just after, maybe a year or two after 9/11 had happened. And I flew up to New York to meet with other photographers at the time. I saw this ad it was like on a social media site for photographers to come together and shoot like fashion or shoot lifestyle shots, to shoot whatever they wanted to do as long as it had a 9/11 theme. And I remember that I did a shoot. I met with all these amazing photographers, some of which I still keep in touch with to this day. And I just, we came into contact, we all did work together, and I produced a few images that went viral because of, just how I kind of interpreted and the theme. And I mean, just from there, just being able to work and build and put my work out there. And then like social media has also helped me tremendously in terms of getting work outside the country. Foreigners who would come to the Bahamas who want to do work. Or if I'm traveling somewhere, I say, hey, I'll be in this city, I'll be in this country. And people will reach out and say, look, okay, we want you to do work for us. And it's just been like a chain reaction, one after the other, after the other, after the other.
And you said 2 years after 9/11, so it must have been like 03, 04. So that's like MySpace days? Okay, I know High Five wasn't around yet, it wasn't Facebook.
No, I think it was MySpace. MySpace was like the thing, like before High Five and Facebook kind of took everything over. But yeah, it was back. It was a while ago. I think you're trying to date me, but no, it was a while ago. But it was when I first started, maybe like around 03, 04. Yeah.
But I think it's interesting to see that you've been as certain eras of photography, and you've been in the back. It wasn't probably you couldn't buy a Canon's Mark V, and like so. Talk to me about your first camera during those days.
Man, I had a Nikon. I think it was a D90, and it was this little small, maybe 6 or 7 megapixel camera, but it was like the thing back then, and that's, you have to start somewhere. It wasn't much. It's a lemon now, but that's...
You still have it though?
No, I sold it, actually. I sold it. But that was my first tool, and you have to slowly graduate. You got to graduate.
So you've did many projects over the years. Is there one project that really stands out to you and means it has a special place in your heart?
I mean, I've worked on a lot of stuff. I think for me, when I first got into photography, one of the biggest things that really helped bring more awareness to my work locally was my first art exhibit, which was called Kinesis. And that was 2007 or 8. And that really helped to push my brand even further into the market, into society and culture. And then, you saw the spawn of, or the dawn of other people starting to look at photography like, okay, I could really do this as a career. And I've done other things. I've done trade shows. I've done smaller exhibits. I've been asked to be a part of certain exhibits. I've been a part of a lot of amazing things. And now I'm getting ready to embark on this probably the second biggest thing I've ever done with my career.
I gotta ask you what's the first before I get to that.
Well, Kinesis was the first,
Okay, so
and like I said, smaller scale, but like I said, it helped me really to catapult my brand into everything. And now this IMV project that I'm doing is a different level.
So we've been dancing around the topic, but this is why we're here, guys. You might have seen a few pictures. We had Candia, you had about Turner, you had King Cloud. Talk to me about where you was. Were you sitting in the Starbucks when they wear this IMV? What this idea hit you from?
Well, I've always wanted to do something that would make an impact on where I was from, like culturally speaking. I've always wanted to do more portrait work. I mean, I've done a lot of different things with photography, but I really love portraits. I love taking somebody and turning them into a character because of who they are or what they're known for. And just in speaking with colleagues, friends, and others, this idea kind of, it came back to me, and I'm just, okay, maybe I need to take this more seriously now. Maybe there's something, maybe it is the right time to do another exhibit. Maybe it is it's the right time to do something else visually that I can put out into the public. And it wasn't a Starbucks, it was Studio Cafe.
But at least you're sitting out here.
I was sitting down and I had that light bulb moment, and worked with the team, and we've put out some incredible imagery to get people aware of what's happening, and it's straight ahead now.
So, Candia, talk to me about your thoughts about when you did Candia shoot.
Well, just trial and error, brainstorming sessions, creative sessions with my team, and trying to figure out, okay, who can we put together in terms of a group of people that can be diverse, who have a great audience and a great brand, that once we put them out, people are going to be amazed at the imagery. So Candia, I had always seen her. We'd always pass each other, but we don't roll in the same circle at all. I didn't want to shoot people who I was too familiar with.
Yeah.
I wanted to shoot
Something brand new.
Something brand new, blank canvas. And I remember when I said, man, I would love to shoot Candia. I was like, but I don't even know how I would approach her. You know what I mean? And
I'm not sure you know who I am, but we pass it all the time. I like some awkward convo.
That's so funny because I social media again. Yeah. I hit her up on social media. I said, can we have a sit down? She agreed. I sat down. I was super nervous. I'm like, Candia, I'm doing something. I want to photograph you, and I won't photograph you normally. I want to do it very creatively. And she said, okay. And then after that, she said, well, why would I say no? You're Scharad. And I'm like, what? You're Candia.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm like, you are Candia. Like, I'm below the pay grade, way below. So, I mean, she agreed, and I said, listen, I don't know exactly what I'm going to do right now, but when I'm ready, I will tell you what this idea is, and hopefully you'll be open to what I want to do.
How was the discussion with Loretta about the turnout?
It was very chill, actually. I mean, she's a very outgoing, very friendly, bubbly, huge personality. And she invited me to her home to meet, whereas with Candia, we met at her office. But, Loretta invited me into her home. We sat on the front porch.
Did she cook for you?
She didn't cook, but I had some incredible lemonade. She's old school. So we had the lemonade. We were sitting on the porch. And I showed her my work. I had my portfolio with me. I showed her my work. And I said, Loretta, you don't really know who I am, but I'm doing something. I would love for you to be a part of it. I want to photograph you. The photo's going to be seen everywhere. And she said, well, I'd love to be a part of it. Because actually, she shared something with me that a lot of people don't know. she told me that when she wanted to go off to school to study something, she wanted to study theater. And it just so happened that, her parents were not too open to the idea, do something that's more stable. So she got into law and business. And so, and then, that's kind of spawned her political stint. And, I told her, look, this is something that I have to do, and I need you to be a part of it. Please be a part of this. And she said, sure, I'll do it. I'm open to it. I've seen your work, and I know the type of work that you produce, and I would love to be a part of whatever it is that you're coming up with.
And you had King Cloud. I saw the one with the genius.
King Cloud was an interesting choice because we had nobody in the lineup that hit the millennials at all. And his grip on that generation is so serious. I mean, the way that he tackles culture and comedy in Bahamian culture is just, it's genius to me. And so I asked him over the phone. We didn't even meet. I was just like, I need you to do something. It's going to be involved in my work, and it's going to be put out into the public. And he was like, let me know where to be. Let me know where to be. Like, it was...
That sounded like him.
Yeah, it was, he was really chill about it. Because, you got to, the younger generation, you got to approach them differently. I had to be invited to speak to Loretta. I had to, professionally approach Candia, and we just put out Willis yesterday, and I met him in the studio, similar conversation.
Was it the Duncan, his studio, Duncan Down studio?
Yeah, we met, an amazing studio, by the way. We met, and it was a really chill vibe, similar to how you and I are talking right now, and it went well, and they were just like, okay, yeah, sure, let's do it.
Well, thank you so much. So we had Case Village, and we can't wait. The next time you see us on camera together, we'll be at the launch, so I can't wait to see the stories that you have, because like you said, there's people who we know, but I'm sure there's so many great stories who we haven't, and that's why I have my show, because I like to find out Bahamian stories. So I'm looking forward to the culmination of all these stories, and we look forward to the end of the process. That's such an awkward handshake.
I know, right?
I was like, that was so weird, like we was missing it. But stay tuned for more. I'm TIMMAY, and this is The Great Asset.